Hi, I'm Peter. I love mountains, and I particularly love mountains in the wintertime when they're covered in snow. I've been skiing for 55 years. I've been snow camping for about 13 years, and I've been ski mountaineering for about 6 years. So any way I can get out in the mountains in the winter is my favorite thing to do, just about any time I get a chance to do it. One of my all-time favorite things to do in the mountains in winter is snow camping. So I just want to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about how to do it, get you interested in doing it, and hopefully give you a few pointers to consider when you're thinking about doing it. First, when you're thinking about going snow camping, you have to think about where you're going to do it. You want to check the weather, you want to see if it's icy, powdery snow, hard-packed snow, what are the trails like, what are the conditions like, is it going to be windy, is it going to be 20 below? You really have to understand what you're getting into before you actually make the move into the mountains in wintertime. The next thing you have to understand is when you're traveling in winter, it's a very different experience than you think it is. Usually when it's really cold and windy, you wear every layer you possibly can, and you've got as much protection as you ever could imagine. The problem with that is when you're traveling in snow, on snowshoes or skis, carrying a 40 or 50 pound pack, you're working up a big amount of sweat going up a mountain, and in no time, 10 minutes or so, you're absolutely drenched in sweat, your clothes are getting wet, and all of a sudden you're getting cold because of all the sweat. So the first thing you have to understand is traveling in winter is different. You have to be adding layers when you need them, taking off layers, even in 10 below zero. Traveling to your campsite can be a real challenge depending on what you're walking on. If you're walking on crusted snow or ice, you're going to need crampons like these. They strap on your boots, they adjust, and they give you incredible ability to go up really steep, icy slopes without slipping or tripping. Of course, if you're traveling in soft snow or powder, the best way to travel up a mountain is with mountaineering skis. These are ski mountaineering boots. They're specially designed to be extra light, incredibly warm, waterproof, really protect your feet well, and they have a unique ability with a pivot binding toe to actually allow you to walk up mountains with your skis on. So the boot just swivels and you can walk right up the mountain. If you put skins on the skis, it's the fastest, easiest way to go up the mountains in the winter snow. Once you've traveled up the mountain, of course, the next thing you have to do is get to your campsite and get it ready for your tent and your sleeping bag, and pack down the snow so it's nice and level, and get all your overnight gear out, the most important of which is your sleeping bag. You're going to need a really beefy winter bag. This is actually probably a little bit lighter than you'd want for deep winter camping. This is only rated to 28 degrees. But if you have a nice winter bag, it's a 0 degree or 15 below bag, and the tent adds another 10 degrees of warmth, you're good for pretty much any kind of weather you could get in New England in the depth of winter, and sleep comfortably. I've slept in weather as cold as 10 or 15 below and never had a problem. So good bag, a nice solid tent that can hold up to a big snow load, not a light summer tent, and you'll be extremely comfortable in the winter, no matter how cold it gets or what the conditions are. Of course, I don't need to tell you this, but snow camping can be really dangerous. You can get frost nip, even worse, you could get frostbite, or you could get hypothermia where your body temperature drops below safe levels. And depending on where you're doing it, let's say out west or in the Alps, you run the risk also of avalanches if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. So whenever you're planning to go out snow camping, do your homework. I'd recommend Alan and Mike's really cool backcountry ski book as one resource, which tells you all the do's and don'ts of how to do it safely. But that aside, I guarantee if you spend a night on a winter mountain snow camping, you'll have one of the most memorable experiences of your life. So stay warm and have a great time in the mountains, and stay safe.
just out in the mountains,
Just about-
all by ourselves.
We built this shelter
We
actually.
built the shelter.
It wasn't here.
Just mountain men.
Look like 20 minutes.
We look like babies.